In this part we are gonna make some adjustment to the normal map, and then we will scatter 2 more layers of broken pieces on top of the tiles. So first I will start with the normal map adjustment. I want a stronger normal map for the tiles than for the mortar. For that I need a mask which separates the tiles from the mortar. And we have that mask here at the height blend. I will drag a connection from here and bring in on auto levels. If I take a look at this mask, I can see that this is not a binary mask. I could easily create a binary mask using this histogram range here. If I bring in a levels and just clamp these values. But instead of doing that, I will use this mask that we get from the height blend. Because this mask has different grayscale values ranging from higher values where we have a bigger height, like here, and lower values where we have lower height. I can use this to gradually decrease the normal intensity as the mortar height gets lower. So the normal map of the tiles will remain the same because we have full white values here, but the normal of the mortar will have a slight variation wherever we have a change in height. Now let's duplicate this normal map. First I'm gonna create some space. So I will duplicate this. I will have an intensity of 25 for the first normal map and 2 for the second one. Then I will have a normal blend. And as an opacity mask, I'm gonna use these auto levels. Now this is too shiny, so I will change the uniform color from the roughness. I'm gonna type in 150. Or maybe I could decrease this to have some more reflections. And this is what we get so far. I think I'm gonna move this normal map. And I will bring this height here. I will create some more space and then we can move forward to scattering some more broken pieces onto our tiles. Now let's get to the scattering part. So for the scattering, I didn't want to use a shape splatter because, as I said earlier in this course, the shape splatter cannot create these nice structures when it comes to the arrangement of the tiles. So instead of doing that, what I have done was to reprocess the tiles that we already have and then scatter them once more onto the tiles. Now let's go forward and do some processing to the tiles that we already have. I will start with the mask of all tiles. And instead of going back here, I'm gonna drag a connection from here. I will leave it here and just frame it. Call it mask of all tiles. Now I want to break up these tiles and randomize them, but without losing these nice organic structures that we have here. So I will bring in a non-uniform rotation. This is a new node in Substnace Designer. For now I will set the rotation angle multiplier to 0. And I need a rotation map here. For that I will go at the start of the graph here, at the layer 2 of cracks, and I'm gonna drag a connection from this transform 2D . Let's connect this here. And I will slowly increase the rotation angle multiplier so you can see what is happening. I will set this to 0.5. So this non-uniform rotation will rotate our tiles based on the grayscale input that we have here. I'm gonna add a dot here. And call it tile center. Now that we've randomized the pieces, we can go ahead and scatter them. So I will bring in a blend node here at the main connection. I could move this up. Let's connect this to the foreground, and I will choose the add blending mode with an opacity of 0.045. With this we get two issues. One is that we get these pieces scattered on the ground also, but we want them only on the tiles. And the second issue is that we get way too many tiles. So first let's remove the tiles from the ground. I can easily do that by connecting the mask of all tiles into the opacity. So I'm gonna add a dot here and connect this here. Now we get to have the scattered pieces only on the tiles. Next I need to delete some of these scattered pieces. So here after the non-uniform rotation I will bring in a flood fill. then a float fill to grayscale. Sorry, I need a float fill to random grayscale here. And now with the grayscale values assigned, I can use a histogram select to filter out some of these pieces. So I will bring in a histogram select, contrast all the way up, position to about 0.45, and the range to about 0.6. Now let's connect this to the blend node. And this is before and this is after. Now I want to go ahead and scatter one more layer of tiles. For that I will use a transform here after this histogram select. And I'm gonna move this just to get another seed. Then I need another blend here. I'm gonna choose add again and the opacity to 0.035. And now I want to create a mask for this and tell it to only add the second layer of scatter pieces on top of the first layer. For this I need the mask of all the secondary tiles, which I have here at the histogram select. Then I want to delete some of these tiles from this mask, because I don't want to have the second layer of tiles on all these pieces. That would be too many. For that I will take a blend here from this histogram select, and I'm gonna blend this with the float fill to random grayscale. Let's choose multiply, and this will assign different grayscale values to each of these pieces, and now I can filter out some of these. So I will have a histogram select, contrast all the way up, position to 0.6, and for the range I'm gonna have 0.18. Let's connect this to the blend node. And there is one more issue here, and that is that these pieces are scattered on the ground also. For that I will use a blend node again. And I'm gonna multiply the mask of all tiles. I will drag a connection from here. And I'm gonna choose multiply. The last thing I want to do here is to frame all this and call it top pieces.